Oh, what's up, guys? We're back with some shit. Well, that was. That's one way to start the game. That's why I love. That's honestly why I love watching Chivalry, because, like, goofy shit. Oh, get him. Do I win this fight? There's a good chance I went. Well, I would have won that fight if Kaka didn't steal the freaking kill. But, alright. So, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I got 6 minutes into recording this video, and I blurted out my name, like my government name. So I'm restarting, and I was debating whether restarting. I was like, does it really matter if I restart? But I had said where I lived, and I said my name at that point, so I was like, I should probably restart. I'm only 6 minutes in. So I am restarting as I was telling my story, but now I will not blurt out my name. I'll still blurt out where I live, but because I don't think that really matters, but I will restart. So this is the story that I wanted to tell and that I did tell, and then I blurted out my name, and it's probably not going to sound as genuine as the first time I told it, but it's still genuine because it's a genuinely cool story to me. I've not met, but I've seen a bunch of celebrities, but I haven't really gotten excited about any, you know? Like, I've probably told the story, but when I was bartending outside of Philadelphia, Lil Uzi Vert came in and I made him a margarita, and it was at like a movie theater bar thing, so I was like, well, he fucking gets that dodge. That was a nice dodge on his part. You hate to see it when you're the one swinging. But when I was outside of Philadelphia, I was bartending at like a movie theater, blah blah blah, you know that. And Lil Uzi Vert came in, I made him a margarita, and I was like, yeah, I could have one of the runners do this, but I want to drop off the margarita that I made for Lil Uzi Vert. But I didn't get starstruck or anything. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Damn, I'm kind of going on a trip right now. But, so my story, I live in Chicago. That's, now I just will not blurt out my name. But I live in Chicago. And right now Lollapalooza is happening. So, or I think it ended today. Probably ended today. But, so this might be why this person is here. I don't know. Did not get the chance to ask. But as I was walking around. Oh, and by the way, I said I was trying to beat my walking of that 1 month that I walked 65 miles. I walked 125 miles last month. And I think a lot of people are like when I tell them that, they're like, well, for what? And honestly, I think the reason is I just don't mind taking it slow, you know? I don't mind taking it slow. That's a good way to put it. I don't mind doing that. Actually, I kind of like doing that, you know? Because shit like this can happen where, well, you can have like fun interactions with just some people, you know? You know, some pretty girl might have their backpack open and you get to tell them, hey, your backpack's open. But I've also been trying to be like a little more social as I walk around. Not completely social. Like if someone has the backpack open, I'll tell them, because that's, if my backpack was open, I would want someone to tell me that my backpack was open, you know? But like, you know, make eye contact, smile at people, at dudes, old women, hot girls, you know, and yeah, just be a little bit more social, in that aspect, and that's like a pretty easy social thing to do. It's not like it's like, you know, talking to a hot chick at a bar that you are alone at. You know, that's a hard thing to do. I don't really do that. But let's get to the story. So I'm walking, and I'm keeping my head up because, you know, like I said, trying to be at least a little social in some aspect. Like, and I'm being better at being social in general now. But I'm walking and keep my head up, and I look, and you know who I see? Michael Shannon. And I'm like, Michael Shannon's walking right towards me. I mean, not right towards me. I mean, he's just walking in the opposite direction that I'm going in. But me and Michael Shannon, we're like 2 feet away, and I say, "What's up, Michael Shannon?" And he says, "Hey," and we just keep walking. I mean, that's the end of, like, and I was cool with that. Like, I was like, that's a cool interaction, because he basically, like, he acknowledged my existence, you know? Like, and that's, you know, I think that's a big thing for someone in his position to do, you know? Which is, like, the least you can do. Damn, I thought I really was the hero of that epic fail. I thought I was going to jump in there like that Halo 3 trailer where Master Chief just jumps into the fucking pit of goblins or ghouls or whoever the fuck Master Chief kills. I don't remember what they're called. Aliens. But yeah, so I walked by Michael Shannon. I'm like, that's cool. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Hey," and I was perfectly fine with that. I was like, that's a cool interaction. Because I feel like if you did that with like a Leonardo DiCaprio or something, they would just not acknowledge you at all. They would just fucking, honestly, they probably wouldn't even be walking around, out and about. But anyway, maybe he's here for Lollapalooza. That's kind of why, like, I could just say a big music festival, but I was like, Lollapalooza is pretty popular. But yeah, and that was the end of it. And then on Monday, so that was a Sunday, and then on Monday, I'm like at work, and I was like, told my manager, I was like, "You want to know something cool? I walked by Michael Shannon the other day," and I said, "What's up?" And he said, "Hey, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Yeah, that's kind of cool." And yeah, that was it. And then on Tuesday, later on during the day, where it's just me working, who comes into my work other than Michael Shannon? So when I see him, he's like mad close again, and then the first thing that pops in my head, and I say it, is I go, "Bro, that's 2 times in 2 days." And then I give him like one of those gestures where you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, and then he kind of doesn't say anything, but he looks at me, and I'm like, "Nah, you probably don't remember. It's cool. It's cool." And then he comes up a little bit closer, and then he says, "What's your name?" And I say my name. See, last time at this point in the story, I just said my name, and I almost did it again, but I stopped myself. But I say my name, and he's like, and then he says blank. He says my name, and he said, "I'm Mike." And I said, "Mike, gotcha." And then I went back to work, but he was also with people, so it was like, I didn't want to, like, I felt like it'd be rude if I kept trying to have a conversation, whereas he was just trying to be like cool, you know, he was just trying to be nice. So, yeah, that's basically the story. Is I met Michael Shannon. I walked by Michael Shannon, and then I met him, and then that was it. I think that's cool. Do I hope to maybe, if I see him a third time, I'm definitely gonna ask him if he wants to get a drink. Like, that's, and he can say no, and I'll still be just like happy, like that was like, hey, that's cool. Like, but if for some weird reason I walk by him again or something like that, I'm going to ask if he wants to get coffee or a beer or something, and I'll pay for it, obviously, because I make way more money than Michael Shannon. No, but like, here's the thing. When I told my manager that See, I'm kind of like figuring out how lame some people are. Like, I don't know. Like, I think asking a celebrity for a picture is lame. That's just, I just think it is. And there's no way you can tell me that asking a celebrity for, or I don't even want to call him a celebrity because I feel like that's, a celebrity is more, I usually save the term celebrity for, like, The Rock. Like, because, yeah, The Rock is in movies, but he's not an actor. Like, you wouldn't see The Rock. He's never going to be nominated for not. Like, yeah, like, I mean, and that's just me being a snob. And I understand this. Is that there is a difference between, have you ever seen the movie Birdman? In the movie Birdman, there is a movie critic and she's a cunt. And she says to him, she's like, no, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote, but she's like, you're a celebrity, dear, not an actor. And I think that is kind of a shitty thing to say to someone, but there is also some truth to it. Whereas The Rock, I would not really call him a famous actor. Well, no, he is an actor. Why am I being an asshole? He is a famous actor. But I think he's more of a celebrity personality, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, this is a debate, but that I don't even feel like we need to have, because it's with myself, and having a debate with myself is fucking stupid. But if I see Michael Shannon a third time, I'm going to ask him to get a drink. Because asking for a picture, I think, two things. I think it kind of demeans them to a prop. Whereas they might not see it that way, but I see it that way, personally. Where it's like, damn, if I can... I really thought I was going to dodge that. But I do think that asking a famous person for a picture is lame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think that's lame. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because my man, like, so this is what I mean by, like, my manager being fucking lame. Whereas, like, what are you gonna ask? What are you gonna use the picture for? The only way you're gonna use the picture is to brag about you having a picture with this person. But I don't want to know them. I guess it's just hard to, like, put into words what I'm trying to say about it. But I do think that it demeans them to a prop, basically. And I don't know, this guy acknowledged my existence twice. Could you imagine if, like, the third time was like, hey, this is the third time I've seen you. Can I ask you for a picture? That's so lame. Like, I don't want this person, like, I mean, I will never, like, the odds that I saw him twice are stupid. So I will not see him again. I know that this is just, like, a thing that would be cool if I did. But a picture is useless. But their time is valuable, you know? So if you got time, or just, like, advice or something, or just to know them as a person, more so than just, like, this personality that you think you know, which I don't think I know this person at all. Like, I might say, hey, you want to get drinking? He's like, fuck off, you fucking weirdo. And I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. But I don't know, that's the thing. Where, as a picture, I feel like you're just using them to... Yeah. You're just using it as a conversation point. I don't even know if that's the right word or the right phrase that I'm trying to... You're just like, oh, I met this person, and then you have to do oh, they're like, really? Did you get a picture? And you're like, yeah. And then you have to scroll. I fucking hate when people say they have a picture and then I have to wait for them to find it. That's just such an annoying thing for me, where it's like, I don't give a shit enough to, like, I don't tell them this, like, when someone does this, but it's like, dude, I don't care enough to wait for you to scroll. I mean, I was gonna say minutes, but it usually doesn't take minutes. It usually takes seconds. But I never care enough, because it's never interesting enough. And if they got a picture with a celebrity and they were scrolling to find this picture, and I'm just standing there, I mean, just, and then what? And then you see the picture and you're like, oh, cool. What were they like? Well, I don't know, I just asked for a picture, and then they said, yeah, you can, like, I would rather be like, oh yeah, I had a beer with this person. And they're like, oh, what were they like? Well, they actually had a lot of insightful things to say, like something like that, you know, it's like, where it's actually like a thing that happened. But okay, I'm just getting way too into it. I'm never gonna see this dude again. The chances that I saw him twice are astronomically small. So seeing him a third time is like, because let's be real, he might not even be here anymore. I mean, and I didn't look up anything. I told my sister, I was like, yeah, I saw him again. Isn't that crazy? And she was like, does he live in Chicago? Like, did you look? I was like, I'm not going to look it up, because that makes it feel weird. That makes it feel like I'm, like, going to try and... That makes it feel like stalkerish. Like, I mean, even though he came into my work, so if anyone's stalking anybody, he's stalking me. But I was like, I don't know, maybe he's filming something here, maybe he's in a play, or maybe he's here for Lollapalooza. That would be the only 3 things I could think of why he would be here. And I don't need to know the actual reason. You know, I'm good with that. If we're going to meet again, I want it to be by chance, not by me being a fucking weirdo looking up shit about him. And if we never meet again, that is completely fine, because I met him, I've seen him twice, and that's more than probably 99.99% of people in the globe. But yeah, so I think that's a cool story. And I mean, that's gonna be one of the memories that I have, where it's just like, yeah, that was a fucking, I can't believe that happened. Because if that happens in like in New York or in LA, I feel like it's kind of not like, yeah, it's New York. That's a whole other topic. I can stop talking about this now. Another story is, there was this dude that came in to my work, and we kind of hit it off. He's a cool dude. I like him. I hung out with him in a park and drank and smoked, and we drank way too much and smoked way too many cigarettes, but it was fun. We bought 2 6-packs and killed them both. So we each had, I had 7 beers. He had, because he said he had drank before he came. Damn, I'm kind of on a fucking tear. Jesus. Jeez. Keep it going. Do I make it out of this? Or am I gonna die? Yeah, that makes sense. But I also took a bunch of them with me, so. Let's get to it. Met this dude, and we were drinking and smoking in the park. He's a cool dude. Yeah, I didn't really finish the thing about my manager, though. Which I'm going to now. Where this is kind of how I got into the picture thing. My manager was like, right when he said, oh, he introduced himself to you? And I was like, yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like, and he was like, damn, man, that was the perfect opportunity for you to ask for a picture. What? That's kind of how I got into that. I think I skipped that part. I was just like, I just got into the picture thing, the picture rant. But I was like, what? That's not cool. Like, This dude's coming up being nice. Maybe he wanted me to ask, but I doubt it. And I could be wrong. I'm not a celebrity. I don't know what they want, but I feel like asking for a picture is demeaning. Yeah. So that was kind of like, that's what I mean by like, damn. You realize that some people are just like lame. So, but obviously I think the manager's kind of lame. He's it's like a 30. He's almost 40, and I think this is kind of like being gay. I obviously, if you're gay, go for it. Be gay. But don't make that like your personality trait. Whereas I feel like that is one of his like personality traits. And I might sound like kind of a, I don't want to say that sounds like a bigot. But maybe it does. I mean, I've hung out with gay people. I have gay friends, but that's like not their personality of, like, that's not like their whole being, you know? There'd be like a straight person, like their personality trait being straight. Like, it's like, how is that a personality trait? How is that just not like part of who you are? I get it more for like, honestly, yeah, I do get it more if you're trans and that's like a personality trait, because that's a whole fucking process, dude. Like, I respect trans people so much, like, because, like, you're changing everything, you know, and you're like, I don't give a fuck about, I mean, obviously, you do give a fuck a little bit, but, like, you're, like, changing everything biologically. Like, that's a whole, I don't know, but it's like, when you're gay, and that's, like, your personality trait, why am I just standing here? I probably had to pee. That's the only thing that I can think of as why I'm just watching the battle unfold.
Brothers, we must defend the gates.
But that's what I was saying. Whereas, like, but also that's, like, one of the reasons why he's lame, whatever, I don't give a shit. And there's a few other reasons why he's lame, but that's, like, it's, like, being the manager of this empanada stand is a personality trait. And, yeah, dude, sick pee death. And then being gay is one of his personality traits. Whereas I feel like being straight is not one of my personality traits at all. Whatever. That's a topic. Whatever. He's lame. He wanted me to ask Michael Shannon for a picture. I wasn't going to ask Michael Shannon for a picture. That's lame. But next story. So there is, I think I've mentioned her. There's this hot chick that works in the place that I work at, and I think she's kind of into me. But like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. She looks anywhere between the ages of 18 and 25. So I was like, oh man, I can't tell. I mean, I could tell she was not 18, and I could tell she was not, or I could tell she wasn't, like, young, but, because, like, you can usually tell, because I look at people in their eyes. You can usually tell when you look in their eyes, because they seem more weathered, you know? Not saying she looks depressed, but she has like she had the look of not like a spring chicken, you know? And she had like bags under her eyes, so I was like, you can't be 18. And then turns out she is 25. So I was right in my spectrum of ages that I thought she could be. But I was like, I honestly thought she was 22. I was like, you look anywhere between the ages of 18, 25, I think you're 22. And I was like, yeah, 22's a good age, but 25's an even better age, because I'm 26, so I was like, I think she's kind of into me, or interested in at least talking, so that's something. And then I was waiting for like the perfect opportunity, because we've been talking a little bit, you know, not like a whole lot, but we've been chatting. And I was waiting for like the perfect opportunity to say, hey, let's go grab coffee. And the opportunity comes. I'm asking her what she's doing she comes up to like my stand. We're talking about what she's doing for the weekend. She's like, oh, I have no plans. And then my goddamn fucking manager comes up and stands behind me like a fucking statue. And I know he was waiting to clock out, but he has enough room to clock out. He can just clock out while we're talking, and I can give him a little fist bump, and then he could fuck off. But no, he stands there like a statue as we're talking. Just like standing there. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna ask her if she wants to get coffee while this motherfucker's just standing here. And so she leaves, and then he clocks out. He clocks out like right after she leaves. And I said something to him. I was like, bro, you came over at the worst time, dude. And then he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I was right about to ask her if she wanted to get coffee. And he was like, oh, why'd I stop you? I was like, because you're standing right there. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he's like, oh, well, girls love the gays. I was like, what? Like, this is just stupid. I feel like the proper response to that is, oh, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. Not, oh, you should have asked her while I was standing here like a fucking statue. Not saying anything or doing anything, just standing here listening to you guys talk. Because A, I'm not going to ask her while that's happening, because I feel like that puts unfair pressure on her to say, like, yeah, because he's standing there like a goddamn statue. I'm just going to keep saying he's standing there like a statue, because that's literally what he's fucking doing. Nice triple kill, oh my god. But, yeah, that's basically the end of that story. So now I have to start over again. Not start over again, but I have to... I mean, the courage is already there to see what she's doing, but that was like the perfect segue of conversation. It's kind of like the perfect segue, like, of how, like, I found out she was 25, because she was saying, like... She was like, oh yeah, I'm the manager, but I'm way older than these other people that I work with, and they're kind of... Well, yeah, I know how this game goes, too. This is something that, like, I've wanted to do. I've wanted to just, like, have a fight to... It's like, me, I'm the best on my team. I'm the fucking Duke. I want to fight your best. And then that's it. Whoever wins in that duel will win the game. And y'all can keep fighting. But I will not defend against... I won't defend against lesser men. And that's kind of like what I've wanted to do. And at that point, yeah, I was like, I am walking through this. I am fighting. I want to fight their best, but they're going to kill me. That was my... And they try to kick me. Well, GG's, guys. I gotta do my fucking laundry.